Hello, JPU family. Welcome to another episode. So, guys, you must have heard by now that breaking news President Joe Biden of the United States announced that he is withdrawing his candidacy for re election. Guys, this is a very interesting development. The Democratic Party and donors and prominent celebrities have been calling for Joe Biden to step down after his performance at the debate between himself and Donald Trump, and some other concerns regarding his health and whether he's still physically and mentally fit for another term in office. So he was adamant up until today that he was the candidate and he would be running. And I guess after much discussion, I guess with his family, friends, and close confidants, he made the announcement that he would not be going for re-election. And he endorsed his vice president, Mrs. Kamala Harris, who is now expected to be the frontrunner in the next general election. The Republicans just had their convention in July here, and next month, August 19th, will be the Democrats' convention in Chicago. Some people are saying that Joe probably should have, decided a few weeks ago, while others are saying, you know what? Joe is a true patriot and he made the right decision, and we respect him and, we're proud of him for the work that he has done while he was in office. In recent days, you have people like George Clooney, a big Democratic donor, who voiced his opinion saying that he loves and respects Joe, but he felt that Joe should have stepped aside. You have other members of the Democratic Party. You have donors and celebrities who voiced the same opinions. So Joe listened, and this is the statement that he put out today. He said, "My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this." So he posted this on his socials, and he also posted a picture with her. Ever since he put out the statement, social media has been going crazy, especially the Democratic platform and those who are in support of the Democratic Party, activists, and so on. Everybody is going crazy, throwing their support behind Kamala Harris. Mainstream media is having a good day. As you can see here, CNN is reporting that Biden says it's in the best interests of the country for him to stand down. And I assume he's saying that because Donald Trump, who was the architect behind January 6th and the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol, is now coming back running for president. Here you can see Time magazine, who did a cover just weeks ago when the calls came for Joe Biden to not enter re-election. They followed it with a magazine cover of Kamala Harris stepping into the ring. So based on what we know, it looks like the Democrats are going to rally behind Kamala Harris for their nominee for the presidency of the United States. As you guys know, Kamala Harris is the daughter of Jamaican economist and professor Dr. Harris, and her mother is from India. So her parents are both immigrants, met at Berkeley in California. Let us now talk about what Mark Golding can learn from Joe Biden. Mark Golding, the current opposition leader of Jamaica and member and leader of the People's National Party, did not come into the presidency of the PNP under normal circumstances. Mark Golding came into the leadership of the PNP where his integrity came into question. From the very beginning, the members and supporters of the People's National Party started calling for Mark Golding to step down immediately based on some leaks and where people saw the activities that he carried out against his party and members of his party in order to lead it. Some very unethical things. And Mark Golding also paid $10 million. He pledged $10 million to the members and supporters of the PNP. He said, if you elect me president of the party, I have already raised $10 million where you can have access to this money if you are indigent or if you need help. So far, the members and supporters, workers of the PNP has not seen that money. No one knows how he raised that money, but that is for a different conversation. Now, when that was discovered on November 9, 2020, a petition was raised on change.org for Mark Golding to step down. And you can go and read the petition on your own to see why the members and supporters of the PNP were calling for him to step down. For those of you who don't know, Mark Golding said that he was born in Jamaica. His father and mother are both British, and he said that they had him in Jamaica. His father was in Jamaica working on behalf of the British government, and his father was later knighted and is named Sir John Golding. So in 2020, when Mark Golding was vying for the leadership of the PNP, a poll was leaked from the PNP, which said that most wanted Miss Lisa Hanna to be the president of the PNP. Mark Golding and his camp at the time, Dayton Campbell, Peter Bunting, and all those people, they carried out some of the most vicious attacks, political attacks, personal attacks on Miss Lisa Hanna. And they did that so that people would start disliking her. People would start seeing her in a very negative light. They even had people on social media saying things about Lisa which were not true. And that was their tactic, their winning tactic. What they've actually done is alienate the base of the PNP, because Lisa Hanna has strong support within the People's National Party. And that is why she did not have to buy the people for $10 million. And I think the final vote was about 1,400 versus 1,700, roughly. The people who support Lisa Hanna or supported her candidacy, they're not so enthusiastic about politics or even about the PNP anymore. And might I add that the Dayton Campbell and the Peter Bunting, they lost their seats. So what they did was help put Mark Golding at a deficit, and by extension, the PNP. Well, now, today, 4 years later in 2024, Mark Golding doesn't have any political traction. He doesn't have any national presence politically or national political identity. He's still struggling. And he and his team have basically resorted to a disinformation campaign. That is what they've been doing, because they don't have any political savvy. They don't understand politics. They don't understand the Jamaican people. They don't understand what it means and what it is to build a political base, because the PNP base now, if you look at the PNP base, is mostly elderly people. You don't really see a lot of middle-aged or young people, a lot of women, for example. So they have basically watered down, right? So what Mark Golding can learn now from Joe Biden, first and foremost, is patriotism, because Mark Golding, in his position and his political predicament right now, is even worse than Joe Biden. You hear all the things that I have named out where Mark Golding, time and time again, could have bowed out with grace if there's any left. He could have left the arena, left the race, And he continues to stay. And the more he stays, it's the more people resent him. It's the more people resent those who surround him. It is the more people they resent the People's National Party. It is the more, because look here, Mark Golding goes around the country and around the diaspora telling people that Andrew Holness corrupt, Andrew Holness thief, Andrew Holness is all manner of evil. But still, remember in Jamaica, we don't have set election dates. So if Andrew Holness was all those things, the Jamaican people would be saying, call an election and let us vote for Mark Golding. Nobody's saying that. The only people saying that is the handful of Rise United members, which is the political movement that Mark Golding and Peter Bunting and Dayton Campbell created within the People's National Party. I don't think them can bring out even 1,000 votes by themselves. They have to depend on and hope that the little bit of base that PNP have, them the people that will come out can support them. You understand? Them foundation weak. Joe Biden sees a threat to the US, and that is Donald Trump. And him get to realize, say, the United States as a whole is more important, and the future of the US is more important than Joe Biden and his political ambition. So Joe Biden says, listen, I am not going to run again. I am not going to run for re-election. Come together, my party, and stand with me behind Kamala Harris for the next president of the United States. Mark Golding will never do that. Because from him put up him $10 million to buy the PNP. Remember when I see them something in Jamaica politics, you know. We have never seen this in the Jamaica Labour Party nor the People's National Party, where in an internal election you have a candidate who is saying that he's raised millions of dollars basically buying support. That is not Jamaica's politics. That is not what we do. So he come with his alien style of politics, buying a political movement, and he cannot get any traction. Now the fact that he cannot get any traction and he's done all of those things, it goes to show that he doesn't have what it takes. And the people are not. Remember, Jamaica people are very passionate, you know, about politics. Look how close we are to an election. And we cannot manage to break the apathy, the voter apathy in Jamaica, which could be because of the choices that are there. And Mark Golding is not looking and saying, if Andrew Holness is all these things, and if I am doing so horribly politically, it means I am not the chosen one. As the poll said initially, the leaked poll said that the people wanted Hannah. Now, do you think that Mark Golding could endorse Lisa and say to the PNP, listen, it's not working out for me, and the country is bigger than me? No, he will not. He will not. Not in the name of patriotism, love for country, and all those wonderful things. No, he will not. Because this is about Mark Golding. It's not about Jamaica. It is not about the people. It is solely about Mark Golding. And this is why people are saying, yes, even though we felt that Mr. Biden should step down, we have to tip our hats off to him, because he recognized the urgency of now and he moved out of the way. Because the Republican Party is still having Donald Trump run their party and being the front runner for their party, after we have seen an insurrection at the U.S. Capitol where Americans died because Trump did not get his way. Election denial, insurrection, divisiveness. And you see what happened recently to him? Moral of the story is, a man or woman must know when it's time to go. The time for Mark Golding and Peter Bunting, who lost his seat, voted out in 2020. They don't know when it's time to go. And that is going to be, and it is, to their detriment. Joe Biden is a true patriot. He understands what's at stake. So I am wondering now, and you guys can tell me in the comments, is it that Mark Golding is faking what he thinks is at stake? That Andrew Holness is so dangerous and thief and wicked and evil? Is it that there's really something at stake, or is he just fear-mongering? Because if he truly thought that Andrew Holness was a threat to the future of Jamaica and the presence of Jamaica, then he would move out of the way, because he knows that he's not popular, he's not politically savvy, he doesn't have the attention of the Jamaican people, he has no political identity, nor can he articulate a plan for the country. So are we to take it that the country is safe with Andrew Holness? Because Mark Golding clearly doesn't feel that there's an urgency of no, otherwise he would move out of the way and do so gracefully. Anyway, guys, make sure you are keeping it locked here to Jamaica Politics Uncovered for all your political news, reviews, and updates. Take care and see you in the next video.